Brilliant.
Got to send a blanket at Christmas.
How are we feeling, guys? We've got a few more coming in still now, but we can start and add people into teams if they arrive a little bit later on. But if you want a few more minutes, just let us know, or we can get going now.
What do you think, Janet? Should we get going?
We should, yeah. I think we've
Yeah, and Ben's ready.
Okay.
Okay, right, guys. I'm just going to pop out from... I'm going to turn down the music now, so there's definitely no overlap. And I'm going to pop out from behind the ominous spinning wheel, so you can put a voice to a face. So there we go. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, I've lowered my mic to hopefully make it a bit louder. Hopefully you can still hear me now the music's gone. I'm going to put that there. Welcome to Bucket Racers, a journey through the history of game shows. So this is a 90-minute head-to-head bespoke virtual game show experience. We're just going to explain how everything runs now. I always do this at the beginning of these events. So first things first, I'm just going to spotlight my colleague. This is Michael's support. So here we go. There he is. If you've got any questions throughout the game show, you can call him into your breakout room and he will help you there and then. So that gives you a bit of a clue about how today's going to work. If you've used Zoom before, you're going to be going into breakout rooms. That's where your team is going to be. You're going to find out who's in your team once we open the breakout rooms. You'll probably know, if you've used the breakout room feature before, that you lose the host's video. So I'm over on a private YouTube link as well. I'm there now, but I'm on mute. In order for us to calculate your points in real time, you will need to submit your form at the end of each round. This will bring you to an Edit Your Response page. Click on Edit Your Response, and then under the Pick a Round menu, select the round that we're playing. For example, here is the History round, and you can see all of the answer fields for you to fill in as you're playing along. Once you've filled those in, click Submit, Edit Your Response, and then head on over to the next round of gameplay. Again, here we've picked the Serial Killer round, click Next. All of the answer fields are there, and once you're finished, click Submit and then edit your response once again. There we go. I need to come off mute. There we go. I'm off mute now. People should be on their way into their breakout rooms. So, you've got 2 songs now to send us your team names. Here's the first one. It's from the 1990s. It's a bit of a short one, but it's a good one. Best of luck. Looking forward to seeing those names come in. Here we go.
You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. When the road looks rough ahead and you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed, you just remember what your old past said. Boy, you got a friend in me. Yeah, you got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. You got trouble, and I got them too. There isn't anything I wouldn't do for you. We stick together, see it through, 'cause you got a friend in me.
Well done to one of the teams there. Breakout room 2. Smart thinking. This is a competitive team. This is a competitive team.
You got a friend in me. When the road looks
By
rough
far the
ahead
quickest.
and you're miles
I'm also
and
liking the
miles
team
from
names.
your
You might
nice
get the bonus
warm
point.
bed.
We've not had that before.
You just remember what your
Good job.
old past said. Boy, you got a friend in me. Yeah, you got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. You got trouble, and I got them too. There isn't anything I wouldn't do for you. We stick together, see it through, 'cause you got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. Some other folks might be a little bit smarter than I am, big and stronger too, maybe, but none of them will ever love you the way I do. It's me and you, boy, and as the years go by, our friendship will never die. You're gonna see it's our destiny. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me.
Okay, there we go. So, we've already got 4 team names in. 4 team names in. We'll be checking on YouTube in just a moment. Here we go. Song number 2. This is for you, DJ. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do one more song for you. We've got 4 teams out of 5 ready to go. Michael's just helping with one of the teams. So, we do have a backup song, which we'll play for you now. Here we go. It's this one. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We've got Okta on the game show this afternoon. Let's give him a massive round of applause. There it is. There we go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, welcome to Bucket Racers, a journey through the history of game shows. A 90-minute head-to-head bespoke game show experience. You're going to be competing in teams to try and earn the most points and be crowned Bucket Racers, a journey through the history of game shows champion. Now, I will say a few people did send us some contestant videos at the last minute, but it was only a couple, so we decided that we won't show those specific two, just not to embarrass them. But if you do want to request them at the end, we can send them across. So instead of that, we're going to have a look at the team names of who we've got on the game show this afternoon. And I'm not going to give you our favourite team name, but it's good. And it's because it's the first time we've had this as a team name. They submitted their team name within about 15 seconds. In Breakout Room 2, you've got a bonus point for speed. It's the quickest. Come on. There we go. They knew it. They knew it. Trigger fingers at the ready. The quickest in Breakout Room 2. In Breakout Room number 5, we've got Okta Ninjas. Then we've got the Quizzy Rascals in Breakout Room 4. I Am Smarticus in Breakout Room 1. And then this is a term that is used quite regularly, but we've never had it as a team name, and it's going to come in handy in the 1960s. So my favourite team name, Breakout Room 3, is Desk Jockeys. Here we go. Come on. Round of applause. I imagine they're all there in their horse riding gear, ready for our 1960s round. So there we go. Right. They're the teams. 2 teams off the mark with 1 point at the moment. So all we need to do now is take a look at our virtual timeline. So first things first, let's jump into our studio. There we go. Now, you'll see we've got a few decades to get through, but our game show always begins in the 1930s, and that's because it's when the first ever game show came out of the BBC. So there it is, the 1930s. It was called Spelling Bee, and its format was simple. Teams of established organisations would go head-to-head at spelling the most correct words. Now, it was presented by a man called Freddie Greasewood, dressed in a schoolmaster's garb, and it was the only game show of the 1930s. So come and join me for our first round this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Spelling Bee!
For the second time, the battle is on, and Pathé Gazette is privileged to present exclusive pictures inside Broadcasting House, with spelling master Tom Woodruff at the table on the right. The British spellers you will see at the microphone are first actress Fabia Drake, second Secretary Margaret Baines, and third schoolboy J. Killick.
I've missed my cue for my hat. There we go. Hello! Welcome to Spelling Bee. The rules are simple. Spell the word correctly, and you'll get yourself the point. Now I shall read 2 words to you in total, and you'll have around 20 seconds to work out their spelling. I shall now read to you your first word. Your first word is verdancy. That's verdancy. I shall now use it in a sentence. I was surprised when I visited Scotland by the almost rainforest-like verdancy of the gardens. That's verdancy. Your second word is nudisturgeon. That's nudisturgeon. I shall now use it in a sentence. I was surprised when I visited Scotland by the almost... That's verdancy. Nudisturgeon is one of the only words not in the iPhone dictionary. It means the day before yesterday. Nudisturgeon. There we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, submit your answers for spelling, and we will take a look at what the answers are. It's a bit of a warm-up round, this one. Send us those answers. Send us those answers. I'm losing my hat. I haven't got the appropriate hair to get this on. There we go. Maybe we can put it on top of the headphones. So submit your answers, then we will take a look at what the answers are, ladies and gentlemen. While we are waiting for those, we are going to head on over now to the 1950s. So there we go. We skip over the 40s. The television production closed. We were in the throes of the Second World War. It did resume in some countries, but there weren't many game shows on at that time. So 1950s is when game shows started to take a hold of the nation. In the 1950s, different game shows were popping up left, right, and centre. And we were introduced to a lot of new formats. One of those formats was a music formatted game show, which was this one. Take a look.
Name That Tune, brought to you by Amazing Liquid Free Zone that removes corns and calluses, relieves pain fast. And now Free Zone presents Name That Tune. Yes, it's Name That Tune with Harry Salter's Orchestra and starring George DeWitt.
Thank you very much. Welcome to Name That Tune. There we go. This is probably the best this wig's ever looked. You can probably tell it's meant to be Elvis, although I've got one very rogue strand there. Right, welcome to Name That Tune. 4 songs to choose from and 4 songs that we're going to play for you. So it's a multiple choice round, but there are a few curveballs in there. going to show you a song from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and noughties, and all you need to do is name that tune. And once we've done this round, we will take a look at the answers for Spelling Bee and the answers for Name That Tune. So, best of luck. Here we go. 4 songs. Here's one from the 1970s. Can you name that tune? There we are. And I must say, I am Smarticus, spelling Nudia Sturgeon correct. Unbelievable. You're living up to your name. Right, next up, here's one from the 1980s. If you've been working from home, perhaps you've been learning some new skills. And if you have, you've probably ended up on YouTube and seen this video instead. It's been a meme for the past 10 years. It was also a #1 hit all around the world. Can you name that tune? Go. Number 3, the beginning of girl power. It was their first ever single. One from the 90s. Can you name that tune?
Yo, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I wanna really, really, really wanna zig a zig.
And then finally, one from the noughties. He's a rapper, producer, singer-songwriter. He starred in a biopic about his own life. Here's one of his biggest hits, but can you name that tune?
Look, if you had one shot, one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted in one moment, did you capture it? Just let it slip. Yo. His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom's spaghetti, he's nervous.
There we go. So, send us those answers. We'll take a look at the answers for this round and the answers for Spelling Bee. So while you're doing that, this is the only one we do it a bit back to front as people are getting warmed up. Let's take a look at the first answer for Spelling Bee. This is verdancy. There we go. So, that was how to spell verdancy, and one team, Nudia Sturgeon, they spelt that correctly, so very well done. With that, we've got the answers now for Name That Tune. So, lots of teams doing very well. Let's have a look. Number 1, Le Freak. Number 2, Never Gonna Give You Up. Number 3, Wannabe. Number 4, Lose Yourself. So very well done. With that, we're back to the studio. There we go. And we need to head on over to the 1960s now. Here we go. And as I said, I think for this round, desk jockeys, you might be in with a chance. In the 1960s, the BBC launched the second channel, BBC Two. Did very little to alter the outlook for game shows. It had been designed for more serious programming. That wasn't until It's a Knockout ended up on our scenes. If you haven't seen It's a Knockout, get it on YouTube. It is worth it. Contestants from all over Europe competing in an international obstacle competition, dressed in costumes over 10 feet tall. There was lots of guns, bungee runs, turntables, obstacles. You name it. Very good. Now, in the 1960s, more game show formats were coming to our screens, and we were introduced to the first ever sports formatted game show. That was this one. Welcome to Questions of Sport. So, this game show finds itself in the Sporting Hall of Fame. For two reasons. It's the longest running game show to have never had a break. And the presenter, there's only ever been 3 of them. There's 4 now. 3 when we wrote this originally. So it's the longest running game show, and it's had the least amount of presenters for the time it's been running. Now, don't worry if you're not a sports buff. We're not going to ask you to stretch your cranial muscles on sports trivia this afternoon. No. Instead, you're going to be placing your bets on our genuinely live, randomised, magnetised electronic horse racing game. So, if you pick the horse that comes in first, you'll get 3 points. Second, 2 points. Third, 1 point. No points for fourth place. No points for each way. So, saddle up and get ready to place those bets as we take a trip on down to the Bucket Race Derby. We hope you like horse puns. Let's take it away. In lane 1, it's main event. In lane 2, it's Maybelline. Lane 3, we've got Naked. And in lane 4, it's Financially Stable. So, place those bets. Place those bets. Now they're off, ladies and gentlemen. There they go. Right, it's a 2-lap race. It's not a bad start there from Financially Stable. Fallen off. Oh, no, he's looking all right. But maybe it's Maybelline is out by a nose. But that's a very strong corner there from main event. I'm afraid if you put your faith in Naked, I don't think there's much hope. But it could be Financially Stable and main event. Financially Stable coming out the outside, but main event by a nose, followed by Financially Stable, followed by maybe it's Maybelline, followed by Naked. So there we go. Whoa. Well done. If you put your faith in main event, which 2 teams did, the quickest, and I am Smarticus. There you go, living up to your name. 3 points. 2 teams, unfortunately, putting their faith in Naked, no points. And 1 team picking up 1 point for maybe it's Maybelline. So very well done. With that, we're going to head back to the studio. Here we go. Right. Oh, it's hotting up. We have a look at the scores. I mean, it's very close at this point. It's very early days, but currently in the lead on 9 points. I am Smarticus. Come on. Then, with 8 points, the quickest. Then with 6 points, Quizzy Rascals, and joint with 5 points, Desk Jockeys and Okta Ninjas. Here we go. Round of applause for those teams, please. Round of applause. There we go. Didn't want to do it. Right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Next up, we're going over to the 1970s. Now, the 1970s saw a few new trends enter into our sphere of entertainment. One of them was this idea of celebrities. Media was becoming had a much wider reach, and celebrities were becoming more of a ubiquitous concept, I would say. We also got introduced to lots of family programs. Now, this next one, it originally came out of the Netherlands, would you believe it? But it's become a bit of a staple for UK television. One of my favourite game shows of all time. Check it out.
Life is the name of the game, and I want to play the game with you. Life can be terribly tame if you don't play the game with 2. And I want to play the game with you.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. So, it's nice to see you. Very good. Hopefully some people shouting that out at their computer screens at home. Welcome to Bucket Race's generational game. Now, the original version of this saw contestants get into teams of 2, and those teams were always a generation apart, hence the name the Generation Game. They would go head to head on a series of tasks and challenges. The ultimate winners would try and win prizes at the end of the show on the conveyor belt game. And that's exactly what you're going to be doing this afternoon. In just one moment, 15 items are going to come past the screen. All you need to try and do is memorize as many of those items as you can. Once they finish passing by the screen, a 1-minute countdown timer will appear. You have only 1 minute to send us your answers. If you don't send it within the minute, you won't get any points. So it's better to submit something rather than nothing. So it's a memory. It's a memory game, ladies and gentlemen. 15 items. They're a bit obscure. Last thing I'll say, if you spell the item correctly, you're more likely to get the points. Because our system can pick up quite a few different variations of spelling. But if it's a different word, you won't get the points. So it's not extra points for spelling. It's the right points for spelling. 15 items in total. Best of luck. Let's take a look at those now. There we go. Right. Now we own all of these because originally we did it manually 18 months ago. So Polaroid camera, there we go. The moon. Now we don't own the moon. I think Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk are having a conversation about who's gonna own it first. We just got a toy version. And that was a cuddly toy, not a teddy bear. Cuddly toy, not a teddy bear. Robot Money Box, PlayStation 1. Lava Lamp, Baby Groot. Dollar Bill Loo Roll. Mario Kart 64. That's kart with a K. Crystal Maze Ball. Adult Heelys. Coffee Terrarium. Snow Machine. Bucket Race Trophy, there you go. And a pipe. Best of luck. 1 minute now. Make sure you submit your answers within the minute or you'll get 0 points. Best of luck. Time starts now. There we go. You get to see backstage now. So I've got to keep an eye on the timer because the stream is about 7 seconds behind. There you go. A bit of insight into most television productions around 10 seconds behind. There you go. But everyone in lightning speed. And guys, I am Smarticus. That's a big score. Guys, they're the ones to beat, the ones to catch. I am Smarticus. Now, some of the rounds that are a bit more up to chance, you'd think, okay, that's a good opportunity to catch them. But unfortunately, they got 3 points on the horses. So there you go. Right, let's take a look at the items now. Lots of teams scoring over 50%, which is a good score. Here we go. Let's go back and take a look at the conveyor belt. Right. Number 1, Polaroid camera. Most teams getting that. Then it was the moon. Then remember, this is a cuddly toy. This is not a teddy bear. Well, it is, but if you ever watched the Generation game, you'll know it's a cuddly toy. Robot Money Box, PlayStation 1. A lava lamp. Baby Groot. Dollar Bill Loo Roll. Very obscure set of items. Mario Kart 64. Crystal Maze Ball. Adult Heelys. Coffee Terrarium. A Bucket Race Trophy. Oh, a Snow Machine. One team putting Snow Machine up. film. Okay, got the point and a pipe. There you go. Very well done. And with that, we're back to the studio. So, well done. I can see some teams more meticulous than others. The quickest, your spellings are fantastic. Perfect, on the nose. Speed, not so much, but you got Mario Kart with a K, so you still did pretty well. Good stuff. Now we're in the 70s for one more game show round. I mentioned that comedians were becoming all the rage. And this next game show, it was the third most watched television programme on Christmas Day last year. Not the one we've just had, the year before. That's its claim to fame. It was reprised. It's presented by Bradley Walsh now. And I think it better personifies a comedic host than any other game show. It also personifies this concept of celebrities that were becoming all the rage. So let's take a look at the next one. It's this. Yes, welcome to Blanket T Blank. So, hopefully you're at home. Now, if it's a bit cold, you're wrapped up in your blanket, and it's a Thursday evening. Maybe you've got something, well, Thursday afternoon, a bit stronger than a cup of tea, and you're ready to fill in the blanks. So, the original version of this game show saw contestants try and match the blanks with answers that celebrities gave. We don't have any celebrities in the studio today, but we do have the answers that they gave us in the 1970s. So try and match your answers with the answers they gave back then. Now, I've got my shades of love. We're in the 70s. We need to get the tunes on. And then we can have a go at filling in this first blank. Delilah cut off Samson's hair to sap his strength. But I just heard that she cut off his blank to slow him down. So, head on over to your answer forms and tell us, was it A, legs, B, moustache, C, beard, or D, rations? Next up, no multiple choice, you need to write the answer in. James Bond was so drunk he couldn't even blank straight. What do you reckon? Finally, we asked our 1970s audience which phrase is the most popular. Mind your business, mind your step, or mind your language. There we go. So, best of luck with this. Send us your answers, and then we will go back and reveal what the answers are. Yes, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. So, we'll go back now. We'll reveal what the answers are. Any team's getting 3 out of 3. Dear, oh dear. You know who got 3 out of 3. Right, here we go. Let's take a look. Number 1. Delilah cut off Samson's hair, but I just heard that first she cut off his legs. First one was legs to slow him down. Next one. James Bond was so drunk he couldn't even shoot straight. And finally, we asked you what our 1970s audience said. Which one of these phrases is the most popular? Mind your language. So well done to the quickest, but I don't want to say well done to I Am Smart because both getting 3 out of 3. Very well done. With that, we're back to the studio. We're over to the 1980s. Right. Now, the 1980s saw the progression of the digital revolution, we were starting to get these wacky game shows, things like the Krypton Factor, which were very futuristic, very digital. And in the 1980s, one game show took a stand. They said, in rebuttal to all the electronic gimmickry, we're going to produce a more straightforward, more down-to-earth game show. This game show launched the omnipresent Carol Vorderman's career. It was also the first ever show to be televised on Channel 4. It was the launch of Channel 4 started with this one. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Yes, there we go. Final Countdown. It's our version. So, we don't want you to just spell the longest word. We would like you to spell an 8-letter, 7-letter, 6-letter and 5-letter word. You'll get 4 points for an 8-letter word, 3 points for a 7-letter word, and so on. There are no 9-letter words with this combination of letters. And you don't get any points for 4-letter words because they're too easy. Right. There we go. So there are 2 questions within Final Countdown. This is the first one. No need to send us your answers until we've done both. 30 seconds on the clock for this first one. An 8-letter, 7-letter, 6-letter and 5-letter word. Best of luck. Time starts now. Ladies and gentlemen, so we've got one more round of Final Countdown. There we go. It's the famous Final Countdown conundrum. It's an anagram. You need to rearrange the letters to make another 9-letter word. You'll get 2 points if you get this right. Please use all the letters on the screen. Don't add letters. That won't work. You need to use all 9 in order to get the point. Best of luck. Time starts now. Yes, there we go. Ooh. Come on, the quickest. 12 out of 12. Quizzy Rascals, 12 out of 12. I am Smartacus, 9 out of 12. You don't take this round. There we go. I shouldn't be cheering, really, but, you know, you're doing so well. I'm a big fan of the underdog, so here we go. Let's take a look at the answers now. So first of all, we'll do the words. Now, I've just got to read these out because there's so many. I'll just take a few highlights. For 8 letters, you could have had dribbles, which is what everyone went for. No, they didn't. Desk jockey, you are the 4th team ever, and out of hundreds. And I'm not trying to show off. I'm just trying to make a point. To say dibblers. Come on! Yes. Once in a blue moon. So you could have had dribbles or dibblers. Dibblers is a word. Oh, I love it. It never happens. I need to Google what it means. I've forgotten. But you've got 8 points. Sorry, 4 points for your 8-letter word. So it does mean that you could have had, for 7 letters, you could have had dibbler and you could have had dribbles. There you go. Among birdies, bridles and other combinations. And then for the anagram, let's take a look. Sticking with our bread and butter, it was scavenged. Scavenged. Everyone getting that. We used to do scavenger hunts. Well, we do them again now because we're allowed outside. But now we do an array of different games. But we started with scavenger hunts. So sticking with our bread and butter, there you go. With that, we're back to the studio. Right. And we're moving on now to another game show round from the 80s. This saw the US break back into the UK markets. They'd struggled to sell anything since the 1950s. All of our game shows were coming out of places like Europe, just like the generational game. This one was different. This came from the US. It was this. Oh, I'm going to click the wrong one. It was this. Yes, there we go. Welcome to Reel of Fortune. In this game show round, you need to try and fill in the word wall. That'll get you 1 point. Then you need to try and fill it in with the incorrect answer that somebody gave in the 1980s. So it was funny. They got it completely wrong. And you'll get 2 points. 1 for each of the words they got wrong. So they only got the first 2 wrong. They got the artist correct. They got the first 2 words wrong. If you identify either of those, you're going to get a point for each. I'll tell you one thing. They were American. So sometimes we get some English vernacular, but it is American. So best of luck. 1 minute on the clock. We want the real answer and the funny alternative. Time starts now. Right, ladies and gentlemen. So, there's another part to this round. I'm going to be coming into a breakout room. If I end up in your breakout room, please mute YouTube. Otherwise, you'll hear me twice. So if I end up in your breakout room, mute YouTube. Otherwise, you'll hear me on mute. You'll hear me on YouTube and Zoom. Now, if I don't come into your breakout room, don't worry. You're still in the game. You're going to be trying to guess the colour that the team lands on. But for the breakout room I'm in, there's a bit more up for grabs. So I'm on my way in now. Remember, please mute YouTube if I come into your breakout room. Here we go. We'll find out where I am in just a moment. Grabs. So I'm on my way in now. Remember, please mute YouTube if I come. There we go. I'm in with I Am Smartacus. Oh, there we go. Guys, if you stop sharing the screen as well, you'll be able to see me a bit bigger. I hear some other parts of the team. They're not as... Oh no, that's the other teams. For I Am Smartacus. Oh dear, getting everything right. You're the ones to beat, guys. How are you feeling?
Yeah, great. It's all Jimmy Richmond.
There's always a moment of silence as they unmute who's going to talk first. Right, guys, I'll let you into a secret. The other teams, they cannot see you, but they can hear you. So, any words of competition or perhaps encouragement? Dead silence. I'll tell you what, I'll describe what I can see. Multiple cameras, everyone looking at each other. Is anyone going to say anything? Now, you will need to come off mute because you're going to have to answer a question in a moment. So we're going to expose you to the reel now. Here we go. Let's take a look. Right. So, I'll let you in for... It's a bit of insight, guys. We've got Evan in the studio spinning the reel for you. Now... He's training to be a stuntman, and he can walk down the stairs on his hands and all of this impressive stuff. The reason I mention that, he once spun the reel so hard it came off its hinges. Anyway, we fixed it since then. That was over a year ago. But that's the background to what can happen. Now, I'll talk you through the board. You could lose a point. You don't want that. Let's start with the bad stuff. Last team lost a point. You don't want that. You could end up passing. And then I'll go into another breakout room. Here's where it gets interesting. You could gain 1 point, 2 points, 3 points. You could gain 2 points and spin again. Or you could steal 2 points from all the other teams. And then it would only add 2 points to your score. So, that's what's up for grabs. The other teams are trying to guess the colour that you're going to land on. Other teams, you can send us your answers now. Now, for I Am Smarticus, would you like Evan to spin the reel? Slow, medium... or fast?
Okay, we should go for it. Yeah, spin the wheel.
I reckon so.
Go on, James. You were so quick on the unmute there.
But gamble.
You're going far. Right, Evan. They've gone against all guidance. They've gone for the fast spin. So let's have it whenever you're ready, Evan. Are you there? There he is. Go on. Oh, give it a whip. Look at that control. He's perfected the fast spin, I must say. Very good. Here we go. Coming in now. Now the other teams are trying to get the colour for you. Oh, plus 2 points. There we go. Plus 2 points. Go on, Jack. Go on, Ben. Not bad. Ben, you went from cheering to arms folded, back to business. You were like, yes! Bring it in. Reel it in.
We've got a quiz to win, mate.
There we go. There's the words of competition we were looking for. How do you feel, guys? You're going away with 2 points.
Stunned.
There we go. Thank you, Janet. Right, guys. Well done. It's a good score to come away with. So now, well done to the other teams if they guess light blue. With that, I'm heading back to my little private breakout room. So I Am Smarticus. You guys have the opportunity to... Oh, you've done it before. I've even had the chance to leave. You've already got YouTube back up. Well done. We'll see you in a few. You can send us your answers now. Okay. God, they're on the ball, guys. I'll tell you what. I Am Smarticus. You could be in with the top score ever here if you keep going the way that you're going. So, it can go either way, though. We'll take a look at the answers for Reel of Fortune now. Right. Here we go. Here's the word wall. I have the wine. So, well done if you got that correct. That was the funny alternative. The real answer is I Walk the Line by Johnny Cash. Did anyone pick up any of the answers there? Yep. Desk Jockeys and Quizzy Rascals getting 2 points. Very well done for the funny alternative. It does happen. I'm Smarticus, 1 point. Lots of teams doing well on that, which is quite unusual because you think it's a complete guess, but you never know. Right, with that, we're back to the studio and we're heading on over to the 1990s now. Here we go. Now, the 90s saw a lot of money being invested into television. It was the main form of digital media of the time before the internet. And so all of these television shows were investing into bigger sets and bolder ideas. Some of the first game shows, Gladiators, which was unbelievably epic. Noel's House Party, there you go, Mr. Blobby just below me there, with 2 examples of big studio sets. But a lot of them were designed for children, with slogans like "There are no parents around to stop you." So I'm 34. I wanted to be on these growing up. Perhaps some of you did too. And even if you didn't, here's an opportunity this afternoon. Here's the first one from the 1990s. Welcome to Losers Weepers. It's our version. Neil Buchanan couldn't make it. He's too busy denying he's Banksy. Neil Buchanan, the man who used to present Art Attack and this game show, was claimed to be Banksy. Well, he didn't. Someone said it was him, and he denied it, but that's what Banksy would do. So, he wasn't invited anyway, it's our version. The original version of this took part inside a huge playhouse without a front-facing wall. Children would need to solve a riddle and then find that item hidden within the room. Exactly what you're going to be doing in just a moment. We're going to give you a riddle, but you need to find the item from within your own home and then bring it back to the screen and then take a photo. So anyone in the team can give this a go. What we would suggest is just taking a photo of the Zoom screen. That's all you need to do. Best of luck. You're not going to have long on this one. 20 seconds after the riddle disappears. So get ready. Running trainers on. I'll give you a hug, but please don't hog, because I'll make you sweat if you get the wrong top. There we go. 20 seconds to grab the item. You must bring it back to the screen to get the point. Now, we know the upload rounds can take a moment with internet and things like that. So while you're doing that, we're going to head on over to our next round. I need to make the most of this wig. This one.
It's wacky, it's fun, it's crazy, it's outrageous. Fun house, a whole lot of fun, prizes to be won. It's a real crazy show where anything will go. Fun house, quiz is a race, a real wacky place. Use your body and your brain if you want to play the game.
It's time for Funhouse. Wacky contestants, messy games, the Fun Kart Grand Prix race, and a crazy chase to win lots of prizes. Now here's the guy who puts the fun into Funhouse, Pat Shaw!
And here's the Funhouse! Oh, yes!
Yes, indeed. A quiz, a race, a real wacky place. It's Funhouse. Now, the original version of this, where contestants take on one another inside a huge soft play area. Now, it was full of guns, balloons, confetti, you name it. It was absolute chaos. It was absolutely brilliant. So, in keeping with the original game show, we've got another challenge for you. In this challenge, you need to find an item from within your own home. You need to throw it up in the air and you catch it behind your back 3 times in a row. That's a challenge. Throw it up in the air, catch it behind your back 3 times in a row. None of this juggling behind the back business. You won't get any points. It has to be up in the air, over the shoulder. Now, there's a kicker. You need to do it with your hands covered in slimy washing up liquid, because that's the gunge, and we will be checking. So, some items that I can suggest is a sponge. It's right next to the washing up liquid. You could use a ball. Someone once used an inflatable crocodile, and they did very well. So, it's up to you. Don't go using the grand piano or a record player. It won't end well. So, best of luck. We're going to give you 2 minutes to do this, to grab the item. Then you can just film the Zoom screen again. The more people in the team who give this a go, the more chance you have of getting the points. There's 4 points for this, so it is worth it. Best of luck. 2 minutes on the clock. Time starts now.
Go!
There we go. There we go. So, well done if you managed to get the challenge completed. Now, if you've got a brand spanking new phone that films everything in 4K, it can take a while for this video to get to us. So, while those are uploading, there's another part to Pun House. If you remember this show, you'll know that there was a 6-lane fun kart Grand Prix race. So, here we go. 6 cars to choose from. Best of luck. Hope you like car puns. Let's take a look at our version of the Fun Kart Grand Prix race. It's a 6-lane Hot Wheels drag race.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Get on home, yeah. Get on home, Get on home, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Lane 1, it's Maximus Diesel. Lane 2, it's Avocado. Lane 3 is Cardinal Sin. Lane 4, Too Fast, Too Furious. And Lane 5 is Carnivorous. And then in Lane 6, it's Caribbean. There we go. Who will win? Place those bets, place those bets. There they are. Okay, Evan, let them fly. Let them fly. Ooh, and it's Lane 4! Lane 4! Lane 4, that is Too Fast! Too Furious! So, well done. Oh, for goodness sake, I am Smarticus. Luck is on their side. With that, back to the studio. Oh. Anyway. Next up, it's another one from the 1990s. It was it is now the most successful game show of all time during the 90s. Sky Television was taking a lot of presenters. A lot of the audience away with things like The Simpsons and X-Files and Sky Sports. So the terrestrial channels decided to take a bold step. What you need to know is, up until this point, the top prize money to be given away on a game show was £20,000. That was the top prize money. And then to recapture their audiences, this happened.
Tonight and for the next 10 nights, you'll be watching British quiz show history. For the first time on UK TV, we have a top prize available of £1 million, and it could be won here tonight. No tricks, no traps. Join us now for Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Yes, welcome to You Want to Be a Millionaire? You are now 5 questions away from earning your team a total of 15 whole points. Unlike the original version of this game show, if you get a question wrong, you can continue. And remember, there are no lifelines. The questions range from the easiest to the hardest, and the harder the questions are, the more points they are worth. So, come and join me now for a round of You Want to Be a Millionaire? Question number 1, which is for 1 point. Which tool was used as a weapon by the Norse god Thor? Is it A, pliers, B, a hammer, C, a screwdriver, or D, a saw? Question number 2 for 2 points. What is the name of the classic dessert consisting of sponge cake and ice cream covered in meringue? Is it A, baked Rhode Island, B, baked Wyoming, C, baked Connecticut, or D, baked Alaska? Question number 3. 3 points. Which of these is a religious event celebrated in Hinduism? Is it A, Diwali, B, Ramadan, C, Hanukkah, or D, Whitsun? Question number 4. 4 points. 4 points. Which toxic substance is obtained from the proceeds of the castor oil plant? Is it A, sarin, B, strychnine, C, ricin, or D, cyanide? Question number 5 for 5 points. In the history of motorsport, which of these iconic races was held first? Is it A, Le Mans, 24 hours, B, Monaco Grand Prix, C, Indy 500, or D, the Isle of Man TT? When you're happy with your answers, click submit. We'll take a look at the answers, then we'll take a look at the scores and see how the teams are getting on at this point. Best of luck. There we go. The big round, this one. 15 points. Oh, 2 teams that have been millionaires. With us, you just get 5 points, but 15 points, I should say. But you can be safe in the knowledge that had you been on the show, you would have been millionaires, because that last question is genuinely a million pound question. So well done. Right, let's take a look at the answers now. The number 1, we asked you which weapon was used by the Norse god Thor. That's a hammer. Baked Alaska is the dessert consisting of sponge cake and ice cream covered in meringue. Diwali is the festival of light, and it is celebrated in Hinduism. Ricin comes from the proceeds of the castor oil plant. And the Isle of Man TT was the first of those motorsports to begin. With that, let it back to the studio. There we go. And we're moving on to the naughties now. We're nearly there. Let's take a look at the scores on the doors. I did promise them. Now, it's closer than you may think. I know I've been talking up one team, but let's go through the scores. In 5th position, and I'll tell you what, an average score for this is 44. In 5th position, with 3 rounds to go, on 45 is Quizzy Rascals. On 47, Okta Ninjas, they're in 4th. On 48, The Quickest, they're in 3rd. So 3 points separating 5th and 3rd. Then there's a bit of a jump up, 6 points ahead on 54 in 2nd position, Desk Jockeys. And then out in front by 4 points, I Am Smartacus. Here we go. They didn't get the million. I Am Smartacus. It's narrowed the gap. And it's not a big gap. Only 13 points separating 1st from 5th. That is close. In the noughties, reality TV was taking over. Game shows fell out of favour. Things like X Factor, Britain's Got Talent, Pop Idol. They were taking over our screens. That was, of course, until game show god Noel Edmonds returned. 3 points up for grabs. 2 identically sealed boxes. No questioning except for 1. Deal or no deal? to Banker's Deal, where Noel Edmonds has gone feral during lockdown. 3 points up for grabs, 2 identically sealed boxes. Now, I have a box with me here. Look at that. This is your no swap box. The box above my head there. That's your swap box. So all you need to do is decide if you want to swap or no swap. We're going to give you 30 seconds to make your decision. So get ready. Ooh. Wonder who that could be. Yes, it's the banker. How are we doing, Mr. Banker? He says, I am Smartacus. They're coming for you. There we go. Oh, yes, Mr. Banker. They are all doing exceptionally well. What do you mean that you're not gonna? Well, he's gone. There we go. The banker doesn't like a competent group, he says. You're doing too good. And because of that, he's offered you 0 points. Oh. So you won't gain any points, but you won't lose any points. So now you can swap, no swap, or take the banker's deal. The choice is yours. We're going to give you 30 seconds to make your decisions, and then we'll reveal the boxes. Best of luck. Time starts now. Right, there we go. So, let's see how you guys are getting on. Oh! Oh! I'm liking the group. We're waiting on one more decision. 4 teams have submitted. I'm not going to tell you. Oh. 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 Right. Everyone has gone for it. No bankers deals. Right. Remember, this is your no swap box. Plus 3 points. So, those of you who know swapped, you know who knows swaps, don't you? Right. And I'm sorry, desk jockeys. You had to go for it. Evan, please reveal the swap box. Just to show you there's no funny business. Oh, -3. Right. With that, we're back to the studio, but don't worry, guys. There is still time. 2 rounds left. And we're moving into the 2010s now. You just get to see everything. 2010s found game shows moving to different broadcasting time slots. The idea of primetime television was starting to become a bit out of fashion, I should say. We've got all of these different ways of watching things. It was the beginning of things like YouTube, Facebook, all of that stuff. And it meant that game shows moved to 5 p.m. But they were shown every day of the week. They experimented with something new. One of those games is The Chase. The Chaser, what we call it. We do play that on a different game show. But tonight we're going to be playing their direct competitors over on the BBC. This one. Yes, welcome to Scoreless, where the aim of the game is to find the obscure answer, the scoreless answer. Now, A scoreless answer is an answer that nobody in our social media survey gave us. So, we asked the following questions to our social media survey, and we're looking for a scoreless answer, an answer that nobody gave us. 2 questions in this round. We will reveal the answers after we've done both questions. You're going to have a minute on each. Please only give us one scoreless answer. Don't list the load. You get to answer only one. And this first one's a tricky one. Let's take a look at the question. There we go. Beatles top 40 singles with 3-word titles. Now, we're looking for a scoreless answer, an answer that nobody in our social media survey gave us. There are only 2 scoreless answers for this. Most of the top 40 singles were named. So it's a tricky one, but it can be done. You're going to get 3 points if you identify a scoreless answer. 1 minute for the first question. Time starts now. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, there we go. We've got one more question on scoreless. Yes, this time it's a bit easier. I believe there's about 12 answers for this. National flags that contain the colour green. Now, a national flag within our pretenses is one that is recognised as a sovereign state by the UN. There's 194 sovereign states. That's what we include as a national flag. So best of luck with this. We've got another minute on the clock. Just send us one answer. Time starts now. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Now, I'm not going to reveal if anyone's got a scoreless answer. We're going to keep the suspense, although sometimes my reaction will give it away if one does come in. Oh dear, there you go. I don't know if that gave anything away. Right. Well, it did, didn't it? Just by me saying it, it has. So, sorry. But we won't be saying... It's unheard of. It's unheard of. Right. All will be revealed, ladies and gentlemen. Right. Here we go. Let's take a look at the answers now. Number 1. We asked you for Beatles singles with top 40 singles with 3-word titles. There were 2. Here we go. Ain't She Sweet and Baby It's You. So Ain't She Sweet was a part of their, well, it was their highest charting single with the original drummer. That's why people might know this one. It was Pete Best, not Ringo, on this single. And the next one is Baby It's You, which was a part of their touring act from this 1960s to 1964. And it was on their first album, which was Please Please Me. Now, let's take a look at the flags you could have had. And I will say, a few teams going for ones that used to be more unheard of until this show came out, and then everyone puts it. Why you might wonder, it's not on the list. But there are some on the list. Azerbaijan, Bolivia, Central African Republic, Jordan, Maldives, Zimbabwe, and then you've got Sudan, Oman, Gambia, and Zambia. With that, we're back to the studio. And guys, all I'm going to say is that it's exceptionally close. We're into our final game show round. We're in the 2010s, and this final game show has been replicated a lot, with lots of people making their own versions on YouTube. It's been on a primetime slot in the UK and the US, among other countries. And it's good. So, final game show, ladies and gentlemen, take a look.
Good evening, and welcome to Minute to Win It.
10 games, each 60 seconds. Playing with household items can make you $1 million.
Now, it's Minute to Win It.
The game begins in 3, 2, 1.
Yes, there we go. Welcome to 2 minutes to win it. It's another challenge round. 5 points up for grabs if you manage to complete the challenge. I'm going to show you a blueprint for the game now. Take a look.
Face the biscuit! The human face composes of lots of muscles, with the main ones helping to make a smile or frown. In this challenge, you must move a biscuit from the forehead to the mouth, using only the muscles in your face. If a biscuit drops, you must take another and start again.
Yes, there we go. So don't worry if you don't have a biscuit. We'll accept other items. As long as it's sanitary and not a choking hazard, we'll give you the points. So lots of people have success with a tea bag, for example. That's one item you could use. You could use a slice of carrot. There you go. No one has ever done that, but I always suggest it. Don't go using like a bit of banana. It'll just get stuck. It's got to be able to wriggle from the forehead to the mouth. A rice cake. Obviously, if you've got a biscuit, perfect. A crisp. So there are some items. Best of luck with this. 5 points up for grabs. You've got 2 minutes. And we're going to be pulling you out of your breakout rooms during this. And then as soon as the countdown timer finishes, you're going to get pulled into the main Zoom call. And we're going to do the points. So best of luck. 2 minutes on the clock. Very close. 5 points up for grabs.
The game begins in 3, 2, 1.
Okay, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we're going to... Oh, Pete, you're already back. Some of the teams are already back. You can shut YouTube. If you've still got YouTube open, you can shut YouTube now. It's all going to be on Zoom.
and we will be getting some prizes out, not to me, but to the winning team. And Rachel, I don't know whether you want to say anything if you're still on the line.
I would just like to say I was in the losing team. Not like you, Janet, and but we were still a team, and we still carried on and persevered right to the end. And it was actually really entertaining and lovely to see some people, different people, and to have a bit of a laugh and watch people running for their duvets and washing up liquid in their hands. So it's just lovely to see everybody. I know it hasn't been an opportunity for everybody to be on this call. Go and have a great time at SCO, where, you know, when you do get there, there's some opportunity again to meet as teams. If not, you know, I hope that we'll start to see people back in the office from time to time. I'll definitely be going in a couple of times a week, and I just can't wait for maybe the next time we actually have a team building exercise. We could perhaps be doing it in person, and then you'll really see my competitive side come out when I actually have to be there. So thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope to see you soon, and it's been really enjoyable getting to know a few people. Have a good evening. Bye.
Yeah, guys.
Thanks.